Welcome back, everyone. So what we have in store for this video is the beginning of our CRUD request. So this video will be focusing on our GET request. And the way we do that is we are going to be just having CRUD. So that way, this is the same thing that I had before. Let me just take this out. So CRUD. Okay, perfect. So we have our CRUD request. So we have C stands for created or create. R stands for read. U stands for update. And D stands for delete, just like that. So as you can see, let me just finish pre-filling. Okay, perfect. So now we have create. It's going to be a post request. Reading is going to be a get request. Updating is going to be either one, put or patch. And something that I did learn in this video, which I incorrectly said in the previous project or in the previous tutorial, was the put or the patch. So I said them actually correctly, but one is for the other and the other was for the other. So what I mean by that is, if you want to make patch requests, is for taking one single thing. So if you want to just change the title, you can do that as well, but or just the blog, you can do that. But if you want to change everything all at once, it's going to be a put request. Okay, so you have a put or patch, but in this case, we're going to use our put request. And then, of course, we'll have our delete request here. Perfect. So let me just comment this out, and awesome. So let's get rolling on our get request. So what we're going to do now is get post or get blog. Let me just put get blog. Sorry. Okay, get blog. So in order to get it, what we're going to do is we are going to do app.get. Okay. And then we want a / blogs. And I'll explain everything as well. So comma, and then you're going to open parentheses and input res, which is request and response. And then you're just going to finish firing off the function. So basically what we're doing here is we are telling it what to do, okay? So the app here, remember the app is the Express app here. So we're saying we're using the Express app to make a get request, to get the information that's going to be presented inside of this / blogs. And in order to do that, we have to make a request. And once we get the information, we have to do something with it. So we're going to respond with the information to do something, okay, which is rendering it or putting it out in JSON format, okay? So the next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to make a variable, and then we're going to call it blogs. I'm going to make it plural because we're going to get all of the blogs that we have. So you're going to do const blogs equals, okay, and then we're going to enter blog, because remember, this is how our whole schema. Okay, so we're going to say blog, and then we're going to say dot. Okay, and then we are going to do find, just like that. And this method, the find method, basically what it's doing is we're finding what's in our collection or in our database or in our schema. So as you can see, we are putting everything into one. So once again, we just go back to the schema page or schema file, and all of the schema where our title, preview, and post and created at values are stored, we have them all in a blog, okay, in a blog variable. So we're using that blog variable, and we're adding a finding method. That way we can find all of our APIs or all of our values inside of that schema. Okay, so once we have that, you pretty much just do then, and then you can pass along the blogs. And then this is when you can render it in JSON format. So just for the blogs, I just want it to render with the blogs then and there. So I'm just going to leave it as blogs. Okay, So then after that, with everything else, you want to make sure that there are no errors. So what you're going to do here is you're going to look for any errors. You're going to pass it through. And then just in case if it does find any errors, you want a message to come out that says unable to get blogs, just like that. Okay, then yeah, you can add the colon and then you can just say error. Perfect. So we'll go back to the beginning with this one. So once again, we are using the Express app to get, remember to make a GET request, the information that's in this path here, the /blogs. And then with the path, we are going to use two parameters in which we're going to be requesting information. And once we have the information, we're going to be doing something with the information. And we're going to be responding to something with that information. Okay. And then once we have that information, we are going to be responding with JSON or in JSON format to be rendered. Okay. So we're making our blog variable, our blogs variable. And then it's kind of like the same concept of taking all of your eggs and putting it into one basket. So the same thing's going in here. So we're, instead of just using just blog and then find, we want it to be in here, blogs. So that's why we're creating a new variable. So we have const blogs equals blog. And once again, the blog with a capital B is coming from the schema that we have here. So this whole schema, we have it in this one basket. Now we're using. And then we're using the find method to find pretty much the values that we have inside of our schema. And the values are these here: the title, preview, post, and created at. Okay. So then once you have the variable, the newly created variable, you're going to then pass it along. That way you can render it in JSON format, or you can respond in JSON format. And don't forget to put the blogs inside here. And then as normal with everything, you want to make sure that everything's working. And if it isn't, you want to make sure that you are catching any errors. And then if there are any errors, you want to be notified in JSON format. And the message, if there is an error, is going to say unable to get blogs, and then comma, then whatever the error is. Okay. So now let's take a look. So in order to take a look, we are going to use Postman. And I really do enjoy using Postman. It's pretty good in order to test your server and APIs. So that's what we're going to do here. So, and it's pretty cool too. It's free. And I do recommend using the app. So if you want to use it, by all means, for any other APIs, definitely use the web app. But I find the just the regular app that you can download a bit much better, just because when it comes to your own server, I've noticed that having the web version of Postman, it's not going to work because it can't really get into your server. So, but if you have this pretty much locally stored in your server, or locally stored inside of your computer, it'll be able to pick up your local server, which is this here. Okay. Perfect. So once you have it all set up, you're just going to come to this plus sign, and then once you press it or click it, it'll take you here. So this is where you can change your request here. You get your get, post, put, patch, and delete. Okay, now what we're going to do is, I already have it pre-filled here. So we're going to do http :// localhost 3001, because that's the port, and then /blogs. And then if you're asking why /blogs, and once again, it's because it's here. This is what we're using as our path to get all of our blogs. Okay. So then now, once you have that, you're pretty much done. You can just press send. But once you press send, what you want as a response is our brackets. And when you see brackets, that means pretty much that it's ready to go. And anything that you store or you post inside of it, it'll be inside of the brackets. And I'll show you what I mean as well as we move forward to the next video with our post requests. So we'll just hit send, and we should get back a bracket. And if we don't, then it'll give us an error that says message unable to get blocks, and then what the error is. Okay, so let's take a look. Send, fingers crossed, and perfect. So as you can see, we have our brackets here. So that means it's ready to go. It's good to go. Okay. And if you want to just to double check as well, you can just copy this, and then it's always good to double check your work here, and you can go back to this page here, your localhost 3001, copy and paste that into there, and then just press enter, and as you can see, we have our brackets here. So that means, once again, we're ready to roll. We're good to go going forward with our GET requests. So now anything that we post in will be inside of these brackets here. Okay, so that's it for the GET request, and the next one is going to be focusing on the POST request. So I'll see you there.